Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to Book Lover. This is a channel for book reviews. Today we are going to do a book review of a different kind of basically we look at novels and other basically fiction novels and all those kind of stories. Today we are going to do a book review that dwells into economics. We're doing a book review of The Tao of Warren Buffett by Mary Buffett and David Clark. This is the book here. You see the book here. This book has 159 pages, and this book is a collection of different thought processes, different quotes, sayings said by the famous stock market investor Warren Buffett, written by Mary Buffett and David Clark. So what we are going to do here is that we are not going to go continuously. We are going to look at some quotes the book has given us, and we're looking at the different aspects the book tells us to deal with us in terms of economics. Let us start. Both the authors of this book mention a word called Buffettology. We have a word called Buffettologist. Buffettologists are those people who are drawing more from the idea of Warren Buffett's investment procedures and also his take on life. So this book gives you an idea of how Warren Buffett thinks, how he invests, how he looks at life, his personal aspects, not everything, but some part of it, what he thinks about people, how, in a basic term, from the eyes of these two authors. Here they mention on the first page itself of the book, Warren Buffett's word of wisdom explained. So this particular line sums up what the book is. I started reading this book on 22nd of May 2026, and I completed this book on 29th of May 2026. That makes it 7 days. So it took me 7 days to read this book. So this tells you volumes about how this book is. This book makes for excellent reading, very fast reading, and some part of this book tells you those things about share market which I think I was not knowing. You might be knowing it, but I was not aware of it. Warren Buffett started into share market at a very young age of 11 years. 11 years. That is the time when he started looking at share market. He had bought a share in an oil company called City Services at the age of 11. So you can understand the inclination towards share market at a very young age. You should not see it Warren Buffett as only the person who has done a lot of great business in share market, but he is also a philanthropist. He has donated $32 billion. That's a huge amount for the society, for the good of the society. So this is also an important aspect. When you are thinking about Warren Buffett, we should always think about this part. We should not lose that context. Warren Buffett emphasizes on doing business with good people. So he believes that there are enough good people for you to do business with them. Once you do good business with good people, the chances of loss are less. He always emphasized on investing in a company about which you know a lot. You have to first do a lot of research about the company you want to invest in. He was very rich. He could have stayed in New York, around Wall Street, but he stayed in Omaha, in Nebraska. That was the reason that he didn't want to be in constant, atmosphere which gives about the information from share market. That he didn't want that share market updates to influence him. So he stayed away from it. So he always doesn't believe in the predictions of the stock market. He believes that once you put a money in a stock market, when you have an agent, indirectly he is telling that Wall Street is earning from your insecurity. Whenever the interest rate goes up, people sell their share. Whenever the interest rate comes down, people buy more shares. Whenever there is a news about certain company, so this selling and buying is the process the Wall Street wants you to do it continuously, and that is where the agents earn their money. You are not earning the money; the agents become rich. According to him, I will read this particular line. Ignorance, when mixed with greed, is the stuff financial disasters are made of. Very true, very true. He also emphasizes that you should always do cost cutting from the first day when you start your business. You should look at all the possible ways of doing cost cutting right from the start, not when the ship is about to sink. There's a quote from him here at page number 18, which says, "It is not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results." So he's telling that the consistency is the key, research is the key. Money, this is where I want to talk about his philanthropist attitude, philanthropist side of his life. He says the following: "The truth is that excessively large amounts of money can actually create a great deal of misery in your life." So this aspect you have to remember. And what he says further, I will emphasize on what he has done with this money. Warren believes that children who inherit great wealth tend to do nothing with their lives, nor does he believe that is good for the society. If there is an upper class created by inherited wealth, he believes that a country prospers better if society is meritocracy with people earning what they get. For this reason, he donated the 32 billion fortune he had made from investing to charity, so that it will go back to help the very society that created it. So whenever you think about Warren Buffett, please do think about this aspect. It is not that Warren Buffett have never faced losses, that he has not done mistakes. This particular this book is an honest interpretation of most possible things which he has seen in his life. So whenever if you ask me what kind of book is this, is it good for reading? Definitely yes, because this book gives you a different perspective of a stock market. It changes your views about stock market to a large extent. There might be many people who are already, because it is a media era, where social media is always there, so you might have heard about all those different aspects of points of investing, but when you start reading this book, you will not leave it down, because it tells you so much about so many things which are so logically explained. This book makes for very good reading, very good reading. I will read a particular line from this particular book, page number 27. Several times Warren had invested in business that either came to an end or saw a radical decline under his stewardship. The most notable were blue chip stamps, but vanished, and the world encyclopedia, which is now vanishing. Each of which lost out to challenging business environment, and the company was powerless to make money in. Even a genius can misread the road ahead. So what does he emphasize? What kind of skills does one must have? Well, he is telling about having the skill to understand a company. So how do you understand a company? By reading its account sheet. So he says the accounting is the language of business. At page number 29, he says accounting is the language of business. What does he say about looking at the business when you are investing? He says if you are looking for a stock that has its price beaten down, you better make sure that long-term economics of the business are still good. If any business has correctable mistakes, this is the word which I heard in this book. The word is called correctable mistakes. If the business has correctable business, it means that the business can grow in future. He has, when I read about this book, there are 2-3 things which I always stay with me. First is that whenever the interest rate goes up, people sell the stocks. And why do they do that? Because whenever interest rate goes up, the company which you have invested has to borrow money from the bank. Whenever it is borrowing money from the bank, it is borrowing at a higher rate. And at the same time, because the interest rate has gone up, the spending of the local people spending decreases, because the interest rates are high. Loans, EMIs will go up, and there are some people who have enough money, they will remove money from the stock markets and invest in bonds. Whenever interest rate goes down, people buy more shares. This is one aspect. Second aspect which I learned from this book is the three aspects. The second aspect is that whenever you are investing in a stock, try to invest in a stock that in a company that doesn't doesn't need more of R&D, because if a company has to continuously evolve and do R&D, then that company has definitely kept a huge stock of that amount only for research and development, and they kept that amount for only for research and development. They will not be able to have more branches outside, and more branches means more companies outside their area of operation or somebody else, so that they can grow that way. Because now, if for example one of his greatest buys is Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola formula is complete. Okay, the formula is set. If you make any change in the formula, the drink won't survive in the market. So that is what he is telling, that the Coca-Cola company or product companies doesn't have to do more in R&D in terms of research, in terms to improve their product, because the product is already set at a particular level, particular taste. If you do any kind of change in that taste, it will go down. So he is not investing in Warren Buffett has not invested much in technological companies, because technological companies need continuous evaluation. They need continuously, they want to redevelop their product to survive in the market. So these are some of the key points which I learned from this book. And there are many more things in this book which if you read it properly, it will help you. It will any information, any knowledge that is good is always helpful. I like a very beautiful quote from which is used in this book. It goes like this: as Blaise Pascal, an influential French mathematician and philosopher, once said, all men's misery derive from not being able to sit quietly in a room alone. So human being has this continuous urge to do something, because even if everything is okay, they want to do something, and this urge to do something, they either buy something or sell something. They want this kind of continuous excitement in life. So that is what this particular line tells you about. Whenever you are excited, keep it calm, think about the product, think about the market, then decide, do some research, then buy or sell. Research is the key. In this whole book, it comes again at many different places that Warren Buffett have never bought anything which he was not sure about. There is in the share market, there is something called a sure thing. A sure thing is that particular shareholder who is very sure about the dynamics of that particular company, and he knows when to buy that particular company and when to sell that company. So he used the word called consistent products equal consistent earnings. If the product does not have to change, you can reap all the benefits of not having to spend money on research and development, nor do you have to fall victim to ups and downs of the fashion. This is how he explains his buying and selling. If not for the hard work of Warren mentor Benjamin Graham in developing the concept of value investing, Warren might never have got out from behind the counter of his grandfather's grocery. He also says there is one more thing in this book, that having a mentor is good, following his fundamentals is good, but if there is a time or need to innovate or change, you need to change. That is he gives the analogy of leopard has to change his spots. So that is where he also advises about changing with the time. For example, on page number 47, Warren woke up one morning and discovered that the investment principle he had learned from his teacher Graham were no longer useful. So he's going further. The last line says, sometimes it's a good thing if a leopard can change its spots. Spending a life getting up and going to job that you hate with people that you don't respect leads to frustration and discontent, which you bring home with you from work and share with your family, which makes them unhappy as well. It means if you like something and you like your job, the possibility of you getting ahead in this job is more. For example, this particular line on page number 71, this book is full of quotes and different analogies which make you sometimes enjoy the humor of it. The humor is, for example, this particular line: never ask a barber if you need a cut. That is, you never ask a barber if you need a haircut. If you go to a saloon and ask a barber, do I need a haircut? He will always say yes. He'll always say yes. He'll never say no. That is exactly, he says, ask an advisor if there is a problem, he will find a problem. If you have a financial advisor, even if there isn't one, ask an advisor if there is a problem, he will find a problem, even if there isn't one. Warren found this to be true of investment bankers, management advisors, lawyers, auto mechanics, lawn care consultants, and the like. People who are paid to fix problems will always find problems, because if there isn't any problem, there is nothing to fix. When there is nothing to fix, it means they have no earnings to earn. I will finally finish this review with this final quote. Page number 118. It says, I want to be able to explain my mistakes. I want to be able to explain my mistakes. This means I do only things I completely understand. To explain further, if you don't understand what you're doing, then why are you doing it? The proper investment approach is not intuitive. It is rational mixed with right temperament. With this particular lines, there are many more things in this book that makes for very good reading. It gives you more of knowledge in a very subtle way, with good explanations, with good reasoning. If you want to do kind of investment in stock markets, I don't say this is the only book to read. There are many other books to read, but this particular book is also very good to read, very good to start. It is not boring. It makes for very good, creative reading. Very nice. Only 159 pages. I took only 7 days to complete this book. That speaks about the speed and the nature of this book. With this, we come to the end of this review. See you again. Bye bye and take care. We'll be back with a new book.